Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Si Wing Yi, and today I'm going to go over Florida's top 10 growth cities. All right, so let me share my screen and let's get started. Well, just to review, Florida is the number one fastest growing state in the country. It has exceeded New York State a few years back. So Florida have received the most migration over the years, and it has grown ever since the market crash in 2008. Even before the market crash, Florida has been a top destination for all categories of people, investors, primary homeowners, retirees, the whole 9 yards. So Florida have grown consistently over many years, obviously because it's a very desirable place to live. For the past 20 years, it was very affordable, which is shocking compared to the other real estate markets in other part of the country. And I'm not just talking about California and New York State. I mean, basically, practically compared to many large percentage of the other part of the country, Florida, for years has been the cost of living has been very low. So it's really good value. So I mean, look, I for one love warm weather. I live in California for most of my life, and I love warm weather. I mean, yeah, I grew up in Philadelphia, Northeast, and I just did not like the cold weather, the shoveling snow and all that. I like tropical weather, warm weather. So on top of that, Florida, for those who call Florida resident, there's no state income tax. It has a very friendly business climate, and it welcomes everyone. It's a progressive state. So it has been growing for many years. And during the pandemic, it has received some just amazing historic growth and migration of people from California, people from the West, people from the Midwest, people from Northeast, especially, the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, tri-state area up there. People want to escape the snow, the freezing weather, and they want sunshine and paradise and tropical. That's what you get in Florida. And furthermore, as part of my real estate investment network, thousands of real estate investors follow my path. They follow my guidance, and over the past 20 years, hundreds of real estate investors that working with us, they have purchased through my guidance investment properties, cash flow investment properties in Florida, as well as few other places, but I'm not going to talk about the other markets. I'm just going to talk about Florida. So today I'll get to the point. Let's share the screen. And this article was produced by Banking Rates, and it's appeared on Yahoo article a couple of days ago. The author is Gabriella Olia, and this article is dated Friday, October 28th, 2022, and it talks about the seven Florida cities where home prices are skyrocketing. So I'm going to give you my top one once we toward the back end of this video. But for now, let's go over the seven markets. A little bit of pros and cons. I will give you my thought process. So Florida population, just to reiterate, has boomed over the past decade, with nearly 3 million people moving to the Sunshine State from 2010 to 2020 for a span of 10 years. This is mind-boggling statistics, according to movebuddha.com. So as people flock to the state's various cities, home prices have shot up too. Again, our investors have experienced cash flow and appreciation for the past 10 years during the 2010. So it has grown consistently many parts of Florida, but I will share with you which parts of Florida I like the best in terms of for mom and pop real estate investors that wants good cash flow and appreciation. So with the most affordable prices. Some areas in Florida is not affordable for cash flow investors. And of course, of course, Miami never has been affordable ever since I've been looking into Florida 20 years ago, and Miami is really growing. It's very, very expensive, actually. It's one of the most expensive cities in the Atlantic coast, other than New York, New Jersey area. So Buddha identify the fastest growing cities in Florida, as well as how much prices have risen in these cities in recent years. And a lot of these cities, which I'm going to go over, have increased in price in appreciation by more than 50% from 2020 to 2022. I mean, we're talking over a span of only 2 years. A lot of these cities, the real estate appreciate 50% or even more in some cases, depending on the neighborhood and whatever. But it's amazing, something you will never see again in a span of 2 years during the pandemic boom. The prices have gone so high. But I'm not going to talk about the correction, whatever crash. That's another video than what I have produced. You can watch those if you want. But today I'm just going to focus on the top 7 Florida cities according to this website. The number 7 is Palm Coast, which is on the Atlantic coast of Florida. Average price of home right now, it has grown past 2 years from 237K to 350K, which is mind-boggling. So 51% growth. No, this is not my favorite market for real estate investors. The number still does not work. You want the rent to value ratio of around 1% to 0.07%. So 0.07% multiplied by 358. But we need we need about $2,400 monthly gross rent in order to achieve positive cash flow with the metric of 25% down payment at 7.5% investment rate, interest rate mortgage. So no, that's fine. Port St. Lucie is also on the Atlantic coast, right in the middle of Florida, Atlantic coast. Port St. Lucie has done well, but the price is still kind of high for cash flow investors, the mom and pop types, as I told you my metric. St. Petersburg has grown. Look, if you talked to me like 10 years ago, yes, I did take most of my investors into all 7 of these markets 10 years ago, when the price were only like the mid 200, right? In this case, 237K. All you need is like a $1,600 monthly rent to cover the debt service on this investment purchase of a single family home with 25% down with payment with 7% interest rate. But now the price has risen from this amount to this amount, where cash flow at 25% down is quite difficult. So the numbers does not make sense in number 7 Palm Coast or number 6 Port St. Lucie. Same with St. Petersburg, beautiful area, right in the coast of in the Gulf Coast next to Tampa. So right now it's too expensive, but you went to that market 5 years ago, 7 years ago, the prices were low, and you could cash flow at 25% down at that time. Now it's too late, so you gotta buy real estate and wait instead of wait to buy real estate. Same thing. Number 4, ranked number 4, Bonita Springs, also in the Atlantic coast. Also too expensive right now, and I'm gonna focus on top 3, because the top 3 is still the numbers make sense, meaning you can still cash flow slightly at this particular time. So number 3 is Fort Myers. Fort Myers, some of you heard that Hurricane Ian came this way a few weeks ago, and it has caused devastation in this region, primarily in the coastal area of Fort Myers Beach and Sanibel Island. But if you live inland, 20-30 miles inland, the hurricane did not impact those houses that much. But nevertheless, is a total devastation along the coastal area. But nevertheless, Fort Myers moving forward will recover, and they will uh, uh, do well in terms of future housing prices because of the desirability of living there in the Gulf Coast, Southwest Florida. And we have investors that are targeting this top three area as we speak. So over the years, we have many investors that purchase in Cape Coral, which we will go there momentarily. Number two in ranking is Northport. Northport is right like 30 minutes above Cape Coral, right in the region of the Port Charlotte area, Charlotte County. We have Charlotte County and Lee County and Collier County that comprise of Southwest Florida, which the top three cities are named on this particular article. So Fort Myers still there are pockets of homes that you can buy for maybe like $350,000 to $400,000. If it rents for $2,400, you put 25 to 30% down payment, even at an investment loan rate of 7.5%, you can still break even or achieve slight cash flow. That's good enough in my book. Because cash flow is very, very difficult these days because of skyrocketing housing prices and the rent have not caught up yet. But it's catching up, but it's not yet there. But soon it will be there in the next couple of years to make it better cash flow. Again, Northport is right above Port Charlotte. It's still pretty cheap. A single family home, new construction, 3 bedroom, 2 baths is probably around 300K, 320K, depending on what neighborhood. And he rents for the renting is very, very good. At rents for maybe 2,000, 2,100. So investors put 25% down payment, you should do very well. And number one, according to this article, is no other than Cape Coral. A lot of people have already heard of Cape Coral, which is in the Southwest Florida region, right next to Northport, right next to Fort Myers. Extremely great area to live, invest, and play. Cape Coral is growing by leaps and bounds, even after the Hurricane Ian has struck this area. And so what we're seeing is a lot of people that are displaced as a result of the hurricane. They need a place to rent, and they have money to pay rent. Very high rent, actually, higher than normal. So the landlords and investors in the Cape Coral, Southwest Florida region are getting a lot of rental inquiries as a result of the people needing a place to rent because their homes will be displaced. Still, nevertheless, even before Hurricane Ian, there were a lot of people migrating to these top 7 cities to live and play, and a lot of people from out of the state migrating from, like I said, from California, from Midwest, and from all over the country, from Northeast in particular. So population growth, job growth. Plus, you have some locals are being priced out in the South Florida, Miami market. Because the rent is so high, like $2,500 rent, $3,000 rent, and the home prices in Miami, South Florida is so high. So you see some local migration from the Atlantic coast, South Florida, into the Gulf Coast, which is right in this market, Southwest Florida, because the homes here are still quite cheap. And so a lot of primary buyers, homeowners, they want to come over here and live. So people still buying homes. I know the investment rate was very, very high, 7%. So that but these top 7 cities, I see almost very little correction, if at all correction. So home prices are stabilizing even with a higher interest rate. And people are still moving here, but not as much as recently, because there's a slight slowdown in movement of people due to the hurricane. But the recovery is going very, very strong in the Southwest Florida area. So this hurricane is just once in 200-year occurrence. So it's a lesson learned in the area of Cape Coral and the coastal areas. They learned the lesson. So they are building new construction homes to replace the ones that are being destroyed, and new homes will have modern safety codes, safety regulation from future hurricanes without any of this magnitude. But nevertheless, you have primary home buyers that want to move into this region due to still low affordability. So many primary homeowners, they want to come here and raise a family, and because of the warm weather, no state income tax, the whole 9 yards, and homes are still pretty cheap, even though the area has grown, have appreciated Southwest Florida by more than 50% really in the past 2.5 years during the pandemic. But there's still a lot of, and for investors is amazing. For retirees, there's a lot of retirees are coming down here either to live here permanently, or to rent, and a lot of millennials are coming over here for jobs. This much to a lot of people's surprise, the Southwest Florida Cape Coral region. There's a lot of jobs, different economy, medical industry. You have a travel industry, hospitality. You have construction industry. You have a little bit of high tech, a little bit industrial, a little bit everything. So very diversified economy. It will continue to grow, and so you have retirees coming here. You have the snowbirds come here during winter from Canada and other places, South America, and plus and Cape Coral plus Naples, right? Naples like 40 minutes below Cape Coral. The city of Naples. I mean, we're talking upscale. We're talking very wealthy people coming over here to buy a second home, to retire, and they have the money and the wherewithal to buy very expensive homes in Naples, like medium price around 700,000. You have a lot of $1 million homes in Naples, which is 40 minutes before Cape Coral. Below Cape Coral. So Cape Coral, medium price of single family home is around 450,000. It has skyrocketed in home prices in the past 2 years. Cape Coral region, 50-60% appreciation in the past 2.5 years. But all the suburban growth is going on. The growth is going to the suburb, Lehigh Acres, LaBelle, Port Charlotte, Northport, and so forth. So it's really growing. The migration going. There is the cheaper homes going inland, LaBelle area, 30, 40, 50, 60 miles inland. So a lot of growth, a lot of people moving here. So as a real estate investor, you really need to pounce on this market. Buy a single family home in LaBelle, for example, for 300,000, rent for 2,200. You can still cash flow a little bit with a 6% interest rate at 25% down payment. So a lot of investors are flocking into this region, especially to take advantage of the recovery scenario here in the Southwest Florida area. So there you go. I mean, the big takeaway is every market is different. There's no such thing as a national real estate market. Every real estate market is very local. They have their own unique economic characteristics, and many markets in the U.S. They can and they will survive any type of recession, almost any type of recession, in an inflationary environment, and with challenging real estate markets that we all been hearing about. It is not going to affect these top growth areas, these top 7 cities, these metros in Florida. Long term, they're going to continue to go well because of the again, low supply of homes, high demand, job opportunities, job growth, population growth, migration, continual migration from out of state, people coming to live in the Cape Coral region area. So the future looks very bright. So it's important to pull the trigger, to lock in the price, lock in the interest rate, and just invest in this market. That's the bottom line. So anyway, that concludes my presentation. If you see value from this presentation, please smash the like button and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And finally, get involved in my real estate network and just put your email get the newsletter from us, so you become a free member of our real estate community, so you can receive a free email newsletter about real estate investing in your email inbox every week. So you could potentially become a very good turnkey, out-of-state, remote real estate investor. Thank you so much. This is Siwen Yi. I will see you on the next video. Have a nice day. Bye.